Greetings, Warriors of the Ring. My name is Strider656, and I'm so thrilled to welcome you back for yet another game of War of the Ring. In this game, I am playing a Loam tournament. This is the World Tournament 2023, and I entered it for fun. I'm seeded 32. My seed is very high, in my opinion, or low, we're going to view it. Not good, because I'm coming off a very big losing streak, and I've actually took a 3-week hiatus just to do absolutely nothing. No War of the Ring, just relaxing. So I haven't played this game in a while, but I'm looking forward to this game. I'll be playing Sharps, who's seeded number 33. The rules go best of 3, and you have to play Shadow, you have to play Free. And then the tiebreaker, the higher seed gets to decide, which is me this time. This game was played actually today. I just want to get this out fast for you guys so you can see it. The next game we're going to play is next week. And if you're interested in seeing the full live play, you can check it out in my live channel. So here we go. I'm playing Free because I decided to. He had no preference. I want to get over with. So I have Gandalf Narya. I have alternate Gimli, alternate Boromir. Everyone else is normal. I'm trying to fear fire foes and dead men have done hero. Right away, I have a big choice to make. I did not choose alternate companions for the hobbits. And this is hurting right now because fear fire foes. And I'm like, should I separate Gimli? Should I separate Boromir? I don't think so. So I choose to keep them in. I say all in. FSP OK allocates an I. And there are rolls. Not what I want for a turn 1. Like, the worst things to roll is what I'm rolling. Especially considering I have the alternate Gandalf. Otherwise, I could be cycling cards. I couldn't even be cycling cards. Who am I kidding? Because I can't play either of these. So I decided to draw a character card. And I draw into Winds from the West. He brings Isengard down. I decided to draw a strategy card because I realized that I need strategy cards more than characters. He moves Barad-dûr down here to Gorgoroth correctly, thank you. I always get annoyed when people do it the wrong way. I decide to bring Gondor down because Gondor is a target in Loam. The Dew line normally is not. He moves his guys up here, so he's going to do. I decide to move the Fellowship, utilizing the this ability. That way, if I do get hit and I get a 3, or I get a reveal, I can hide with Strider's ability with this. Or I could muster another nation down, because I don't want to draw any more than 4 cards. Let's see what happens. Hit right away. And Smeagol's drawn. This is bad. Smeagol's bad early, because now he blocks Narya. So I can't get my die back, and I can't move again. So Smeagol decides to block the way, literally. He decides to bring Saruman in. Makes sense, because he's protected, since Smeagol is blocking everyone off from getting a 5th die. And then I decided to bring the elves down, because why not? He moves up and over, which is legal. And we go into turn 2. I draw into Axenbow and King Bran's men. King Bran's happy to see, because that as he walks up, I can surprise him with it. I can't use Narya, so I get rid of it. He allocates an I, rolls a million more. And I have a normal roll. I would call this a traditional turn 1 roll for Fellowship in a regular base game, what you typically see. This is pretty bad for Shadow, not going to lie. I pass the start. He plays Gates Are Closed. And now I realize I have to play... that's going to block the way from Winds from the West. This probably isn't the best play, but I decided I'm going to put it out there. And I do. Because I could use Gates Are Closed to kill Gandalf later. But the way I see it, what else am I going to do? King Bran's? I want to surprise him. So he draws another character card. I decide to move the Fellowship. Missed. I'm safe on move 2. He decides to put Sauron down. Good news for me. Because he moved Sauron to war, now I know I can get Galadriel right now. So I do. Galadriel pops in. I thank him. He says, "You're welcome." He moves these guys up. going do. I'm holding onto this King Brands as long as I can. I think for a long time here, my thoughts are I could play King Brands now, but it's rare that you're going to get the hybrid. So I decide I think I'm going to just move this guy because he's moving do. I'm going to just move these guys around. So that's what I do. It's the do protection instead of the Edoras up. He uses his ring right away just to move armies. So, you know, he's leaving Dol Guldur up. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. So here we go. Turn 3. I draw into I Will Go Alone and Wisdom of Elrond. Now I have a choice. What do I get rid of? These cards are not awful. I'm thinking if I Will Go Alone at this point because I could get... Because I want to get Gimli over to the do line. So 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. I have to move a few more times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If I move one more time, I could separate them. So I decided to get rid of Fear Fire Foes, I believe. Just because I don't see myself getting the North to war this way. He's already so close to here anyway that me doing 2 actions to do that will be him attacking and attacking. So I don't see a point. So Gandalf can't be used again. Galadriel rolls decent. Right now I need more movement though. I'm kind of mad about this because I want to get Smeagol the hell out of there. I decided to move the elves down to start because I'm seeing that he could attack Lorien and put that in danger. He moves the armies closer. I pass and then I freak out and I say hold. I say I'll go. I play King Bran because he's right there. It's a perfect time to play it. I got my 2 additional. Yep, and I draw into Power of Tom Bombadil. He moves these guys here out, and these guys to the left. Okay, I pass. Southern's Easterns are being mustered to war. I move the Fellowship because even if I gave him a ring there, I can't lose Gandalf. He misses. He attacks Old Forest Road, I think, for a while. I'm thinking of playing a Confusion. And then I think, well, he could have, like... This could be a Swarm of Bats, but he could be bluffing. So I decided to play Advantageous Position. Just Power of Tom Bombadil. And it is Swarm of Bats, and he easily kills the guy. And I get nothing back. So the North moves down. I decided to muster the North down so he can't... so now Carrick is annoying. If he moves one guy into Carrick, I can use this muster action to muster up here. The elves are also close to war, so I'm making him attack me so that I can use this to muster elves. He attacks Woodland Realm, so he's ignoring Dale. And now I use this action just to put an elite in Lorien, just to be obnoxious. He does not attack there, though. Instead, he decides to bring the Balrog in. Because it's minimal damage for him, he just moves the dwarves down because the elves are already there. All right, going to turn number 4. I draw into Bilbo Song and Swords and Eriador. Trying to think of what I get rid of here. I believe I get rid of Swords and Eriador, which I do. Fellowship okay. He allocates an eye. Rolls 2 more. I roll decent. Decent, but no Will of the West here. I just misclicked. Okay. Just checking we're all good here. I decided to move the Fellowship to start. I want to get rid of Gollum. But I decided to pass first because I wanted him to get rid of his musters. Now the Southerns and Eastern, everyone's at war for him. With the Fellowship, I am missed. He decides to muster Nazgul, Minas Morgul, and Moria. With the Fellowship again. This time I'm hit, hoping for a 3 would be fantastic. I'm thinking 3, come on. That's a 1 reveal. And now I think for a while, I think about taking Smeagol to that, but I'm like, nah. I want he's going to draw for the Balrog and Moria. So, and I have I Will Go Alone that I want to play. So for that reason, I take the Corruption and I move them to here. And He draws for the Balrog first as required. And it's Smeagol, which sucks. I'm hoping for a 3. It's a 2. That's enough to kill Smeagol. Bye, Smeagol. You're done. At least I can get Gandalf's die back, but it doesn't matter because I already have Galadriel in. So he brings the chief out. Good for him. Now I know that it's going to be a pain in the neck to get anyone to war because if he doesn't attack the dwarves, they can never go to war. So I really need this Book of Mizarble to help me out. So let's see what he does. He thinks. Oh, I think. I decide to play Axe and Bow. He attacks Woodland Realm. Now I play Wisdom of Elrond because I want to get some hits on this confusion. It'd be great if I did. He plays Desperate Battle. And he does get one, but he gets 2 hits, just 2 hits, which is pretty good. And I get 2 back plus 1, which is 3. That's the ideal scenario for me. Ideal actually be if he got no hits and I got 3. But he gets them down to 1. He presses. No card. He gets it. I do not get anything back. So good for him. But that army up there is not that strong. So I decide to use this to draw into a strategy card, which I can play right away. Éomer can play, which is good. He plays Falthing from the Deep. So I'm kind of hoping for some kind of hit. Maybe a Gandalf can be pulled. Who knows? He pulls an eye. I decide not to use Galadriel on that. And I let him know. And he realized he did that really fast. But yeah, I could use Galadriel there. So I put Éomer out and I put him in Helm's Deep. And let's see what he does. Dale. So I don't really have any cards that can help. Book of Mizarble I do not want to play. I don't want to play Sudden Strike either. So I'm hoping that they can survive this. He gets 1 hit. And I get absolutely nothing back. Not doing too hot on the rolls, but I'm not complaining. I wasn't complaining in the game. I'm thinking about it now. Kind of not fair. I kind of want to get hits back. But now this is obnoxious, and he's probably not going to go for it. So he's at 3 victory points in a turn. Turn is this? Turn 5? Yeah, turn 5. I drawn to Faramir Grey Company. I'm not going to use Grey Company. The card blows. But I do have it there. He rolls a lot of eyes. I think this could be a military switch shift here, but not with this roll. Absolutely not. And he's got musters. If I want to do a military shift, it needs to be more obvious than that. Oh, well, I guess I could do military. So I decided to get rid of the Galadriel draw because I prefer this action. I start by hiding the Fellowship. He plays Orc Patrol. That's the second tile drawing card he's played on me. This time it's a 1 reveal worst case scenario for me. Because my plan going into this turn was to move once. And then play I Will Go Alone. So like 1 and then 1, 2, 3. And then Gimli moves 2. Then I use 2 for Book of Mizarble. That's what I was thinking. So I decided instead to take Gandalf here. Because I have a Showing Will of the West. And he cannot use Day Without Dawn to block it. Because his move was Orc Patrol. And I go right away and bring Gandalf back. So that's probably the quickest way you can bring Gandalf in. Crazy way to think about it. And plus my corruption's not doing bad. I drew the Smeagol tiles, which are great. I thank him for it. He decides to move all his guys to Umbar, showing that he probably has Corsairs. What am I going to do about it? I can't bring Gondor to war. I think I decide to flip the Fellowship. He decides to use the voice to bring some guys in. Now I do the traditional movements because he does have a good force here. And I got to make sure Helm's Deep is protected. So I do 1, 2. He does another voice. I play Faramir's Rangers because I have a pretty good hand here, with the exception of Great Company, and he's probably not going to move these guys out, and I'd like to have a big force in Gondor, so I just play it for that card effect. There goes Corsairs. That gets me to war. But Umbar is wide open. Going to turn 6. I draw into File of Galadriel and Path of the Woses. This is an obvious discard by Great Company. You're done. He allocates 0 eyes. I mistakenly say you can't, but then realize he's right. He rolls a lot of eyes anyway, including the Balrog. And I roll lots of movement. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll just move the Fellowship into Mordor this turn. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could bring Elrond in to use his ring to move another. Thinking I could move a lot here. This would be great. So he misses. His rerolls a miss. So I'm feeling this is it. I'm good. Then he plays Isildur's Bane and gets the 2 reveal. So this sucks. There goes my plan again. I try using axe and bow, then I realize you can't, because according to the card, you're not allowed to lower this in any way. It's direct corruption. And he gets his draw, and I think I'm going here, because that way I can still play. I will go alone. 1, 2, so it still works for me. So my reason for doing that is so I can get Gimli 1, 2, 3, and then 2 for I'll go for Fear for I can't even talk for Book of Mizarble, which I've been holding on to. So I decided to play that now. 1, 2, 3, and heal corruption. He plays Kindle of Despair, Captain of Despair, which sucks. That's one of the most painful cards as Fellowship to go against, especially when I have so many moves left. And I play Book of Mizarble to flip them all the way to war. Great for me. You play Shadow of the Misty Mountains. Now I'm looking at a potential Lorien hit here. I hide the Fellowship. He's moving his Nazgul around. He removes the captain down here. And it's got 3 Nazgul there and 2 here. Maybe he's worried, and I'm looking to see. Okay. And then he puts them all in Dol Amroth, and now he's done. I decided to pass. What am I going to do? I can't protect it. He attacks DA, playing Stormcrow. There's no card I can play. And he missed on his combat roll, and he gets 3 6s on his reroll. And I get nothing back. So I feel like the rolls are not in my favor. But I'm still doing decent, but he's at 5 already. I'm nowhere near Mordor. So I decide to just muster an elite here. He does of the voice to make 2 of these into elites. I play File, then I think about it and decide to move the Fellowship instead. Because I'm worried now about potential him going too quickly. So his initial roll is a miss, and his reroll is a hit. He draws a 3. Now he's getting the 3s. I decide to use Axe and Bow and take the 2 corruption. And he decides to move people in. He moves them up here into North Dunland. And now he's moving out. Now I'm contemplating Deadman of Dunharrow. I think if I separate Strider, I can always attack this army and be obnoxious. So that's the thought I'm having. Let's see what I draw into. Draw into You Know the Way There, which could do absolutely nothing. And Riders of Theoden, which can be helpful. So now I realize that there is a card worse than the Grey Company, because this card doesn't do anything. I decided the Fellowship is okay. I declare here, because it gives me more ways to go. Because I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I have 2 options that way. And also turns off any of his cards for movement. Ella gets an eye, and I roll 2 Wills of the West. I'm really tempted here to separate Aragorn I do think for a while, but I decided just to use the Will of the West to move. He hits. It's a 3. I random into Mary, which sucks. Not what I want to see, because now I'm taking 2 corruption. And now my companions, Boromir is the lame one. Legolas is a 2. So now my corruption is not looking good. I have 3, 2, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I'm -1 right now, but I'm pretty far away. So I decided to move Mary to Osgiliath, because that way I can move him into here if I need to. He attack forwards. No card. No card. He gets his hits. I don't hit back. Feeling like this is pretty rough here for me, statistic-wise. Yeah, I'm -2 on 5s. And so is he. But he's rolled 11 6s. I've rolled no 6s. Okay. So, but it does feel kind of like tilted. So he gets his hit. I don't. Moves Rohan down. Now I use this hybrid to condense here and condense these guys here. I do have Riders of Theoden to protect if he decides to move here. I'm thinking of that I can play. He plays Shelob so he can do more cycling. I decide to move the Fellowship again. He gets a hit and draws a 1, which I decide to just take. What does he do? He's moving. Now I see he's moving up here, going towards Rivendell. It's kind of scary. I move the Fellowship again. I'm thinking I have to get into Mordor now because this is starting to get scary for me. So this is 1, 2. This is move 3. I do get hit. Only once. It's a 3. I decide to take Strider here because my corruption is way too high. If he has Candle of Corpses, I'm boned. I've lost to that before. I know how that's like. Not going to happen here. So I'm potentially in Mordor now, but he's drawn several character cards, so he has a high potential of having Cruel Weather. And now he's moving up, so I see he's starting to condense. Kind of scary. I pass. He's moving out here. And moves these guys. So now I'm seeing Shire. 1, 2. Who knows where else right now, but it's scary. I think for a while I decided to use my decided to move this guy down and this guy down here. And now he's outside of the Shire and outside of Rivendell. I decide I'm not going to move the Fellowship again. I'll just deal with it. It is what it is. I'm gonna roll the dice, literally. I play 5 Galadriel. I know if he has Cruel Weather, it's not going to be good for me. So Philo goes in, and he decides he does not have it. Thank God. So he has Black Captain commands, and he decides to attack Rivendell with them. So he draws his card, and I go under siege. So now I draw in the Spirit of Mordor, which I'm going to keep because he has mixed army here, is what I'm thinking. And plus, you know the way there, we know sucks. I can't play it. That's what I get rid of. So I declare into Moria. Oh my gosh, into Mordor. Move all the tiles in. Let's look at the hunt pool, see what it looks like for me. It doesn't look awful. It doesn't look horrible. See what happens. So then he rolls this. And he also forgets to allocate an eye. So he has to take the one from the right according to tournament rules, which is a character. So I move it there for him. And now I think for a while, because now I'm looking military victory. So I could go 1. I'll give you a chance to look at it. If you want to actually pause the video, you can see how you could possibly win here. Okay. So I think for a while. I decide to use the character action first to attack Dimral Dale. My thought is if I do this, then if I kill them all, it gives me all the options. And then there's no one else that could make it back to Moria in time to protect it. I play a sudden strike. 0, 1, just 2 total. And he gets 2 back. And move everyone out. He plays Day Without Dawn. This is where I realize how stupid I am. I should have played the Will of the West first. So now I'm regretting all of my life choices. Not looking good. And I decided to move everyone towards Dol Guldur and towards Umbar. I realize I already killed my die and I can't undo it. So he goes, moves the one guy in. And he gets his points up to 6. And I think about it, and I realize if I didn't move this guy down, I could have gone 1, 2 up, and the last I could use my ring last to retake there. So I can't get the military victory here. I was hoping for it though. So instead, I move these guys back because I realize he can't attack down here, so there's no fear. What was my second action? I don't even know. Maybe I forgot. He attacks Rivendell. I think it's about a card. I decided I'm going to save all my cards for later. He plays Devilry of Orthanc. Gets 2. I get 2 back. He presses. I decide to take the elite because I want to make sure I have more elven reinforcements just in case I need them. Gets nothing, no card. I get nothing. He presses again, no card, no card. He gets 1, I get nothing. We keep pressing. He takes it as expected. He's up to 8 now. It's dangerous for me. I decide to just muster an elite in the Shire. And that's it, because I don't want to give him a ring to attack. Because I can start right away by attacking into Umbar next turn. He plays On They Went. Let's hope, and I take the corruption for not moving. Going to turn 9, I lose Galadriel's die. I draw into Kindred of Glorfindel, which is an insult to injury. Safe Pass in the Dark, which I can use. And I get rid of Kindred. It's probably a mistake. Should have gotten rid of Safe Pass in the Dark, but I'm thinking I could use this to get rid of this We Shall Get It, which is obnoxious. Fellowship okay. And let's see his roll. So I'm thinking I can still win here, military-wise. I don't know if he has the movements to win. So again, if at any point you want to like freeze the video and see what you do, you can. I'm just showing you what I did. It's this game I just played. I attack Umbar right away because I don't want him attacking me with that huge army. He thinks for a while, attacks the Shire. Because what I'm seeing now is if he attacks here, I'm going to attack here. Because I do have Sudden Strike during Defiance. I have a lot of things that could help potentially. He plays Dread and Despair, which I'm happy to see because he could have used this to potentially kill me off. Because if I don't move, then I would lose. If he gets the hits he needed. He gets all the hits here. And I get 1 back. I'm not taking that back either. It's not happening. So I decided I want to take Umbar out because I'm going to go forward with my plan. And my plan right now is to take Dale at the end and Umbar here. I just need 1 hit. No card. I get nothing. Nothing. He gets a hit back. I press. I get the hit, and he gets a hit. So he's hitting a lot now. Now at my 4 victory points. Let's see what happens. He plays The Shadow is Moving. Shadow Lengthen, sorry. To get all these guys here. I was dreading this. It's like, oh no. and then condense all these guys to Fords of Eisen. So now I play the most useless card, Spirit of Mordor, but I feel like this never works. I'm hoping it does, because this army is now mixed, because there's a mix of Sauron and Southron and Easterling units. And I get 3, which I'm pumped. Never works. And now he moves here and moves these guys here. So now I'm thinking for a while, and I realize that in order for him to get 10, he has to take this. So I have 2 options here. Option 1 is I could muster an elite here. And option 2 is I could just put Riders of Theoden out to prevent these guys from moving in. That's what I decided to do. So I do play Riders of Theoden. And that way it forces him to not be able to do a move. He has no rings. He'll have to bring the mouth in. And he has one attack with the mouth. So he draws a strategy card. And now I decide it's time. Stack Dale. I think for a while about a card. I think about Sudden Strike, but I want to save that for the next round. Because then the next, if he stays, then Sudden Strike hits on 5s. So I choose Daring Defiance in case he has a, what am I worried about? A Mumakil. But I screw myself. So I have to forfeit the leadership of my companion. So I can only reroll 1, so I get 1 only. And he gets 0. I press. He stays. I decide to play a Sudden Strike here. I get 1 on the strike. And here's a combat roll. And I get 4, which is nuts. He gets 1 back. So he's joking around. He has the 1 exclamation point there. So now I'm feeling this is good. I think I'm going to close this out. So Gimli for the win, possibly. And he moves to Wood and Realm, but I said to move everyone except for 1 guy. Theoretically, I could have kept... I didn't want to leave anything open in case of any shenanigans. So he brings the mouth in and realizes he can't do anything. Because he has to take both of these out to win. So that's it. That was the game. Pretty exciting, in my opinion. Free People military victories are always fun to watch. If you look at the board, think what you could have done if you were Sharps or me. Maybe there's some mistakes I made. Definitely not putting the Will of the West first was a mistake the turn before. But definitely epic and a fun game to play. Our next game is going to be next Thursday. I'll be streaming it live 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment. I do read all the comments. I do make an effort to respond. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Oh, before I always forget this. Let's look at the stats for this game. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All right, can't really see. I was low on characters. He was pretty high on eyes, actually. And we were dead even on combats. So it was a very fair combat game. So that was the game. Bye, everyone. See you in the next one. Take care.